Sure, his speed is what it is legit. In this offense, Jay does a tremendous job of getting people open, like he said. The question was asked about him coming across the middle, and I think he put it elegantly. You got to catch me first, and that's one of the reasons why he's here today, because we know we need to add a little speed to his offense.
And what's next for you in this offseason? What's the next target?
Well, it's not so much the target. We still got some pieces that we got to put in place. The draft is coming up, but free agent is not over. I think we just got to put our heads together tomorrow and the next day to kind of find out where we go from there, to see who's out there and try to piece those guys together. The draft is coming up, and there's a lot of good players in the draft. And once free agent is over with, it kind of dictates to us where we're going in the draft.
Reports are you signed Zach Brown to a long-term deal. Can you talk about that at all?
No, because I didn't know it coming in here. So I think that was happening as I was down the hallway or what have you. So I don't know enough about it, but if we did, that's a good thing. We'd like to have Zach back with Mason back and healthy. I think it helps us from the defensive standpoint. We got to get a little more help in the interior, and in the secondary. But I think we can address that in this wave free agents that are out there either in the draft.
You talked about looking towards the future. How do you kind of envision this new era with Alex Smith at the helm?
Well, I think what Alex is going to bring to us is an element of leadership, good leadership. And you can tell him the first thing he talked about was the locker room. I think when you talk about a quarterback, the most important thing, does he have a locker room? Do the people that he played with believes in what he's doing? And I think Alex is that kind of guy because he's proven that. When the news got out that it was a possibility he was coming to Washington, all his teammates tweeted about what he meant to them, and I think he's going to bring the same type of attitude over here, and that's one of the things we're looking for.
What is it about this guy that made you want to commit, not only trading assets for him, but to want to sign him to be your franchise quarterback for the next several years?
Well, first of all, I don't understand the lab say we didn't want to commit to the other guy. It wasn't a matter of wanting to commit to the other guy. We had to look at it what we had to do was going to be best for us, somebody who wanted to be here. And when we found out that we can trade for Alex, we didn't have to deal with what was going to happen during this time of the year. We had what we needed to go forward, and Alex was that guy. And then this day is here, and I'm glad it's over with, that we got him signed, sealed, and delivered, and hopefully be here for the next, and we know 5 we gave him, but hopefully be here for the next 10 years.
What do you see in his game that makes him a good fit for Jay's system? As a veteran quarterback who can make the kind of throws that maybe Jay's system requires?
Well, let me say this. Jay's system can make any quarterback, and that's the good part about Jay's system. If he got a guy who loved the game, passionate about the game, is smart, you're gonna have some success in Jay's system. So I think his system speaks for itself, along with the weapons that we have. You got to have some players, and I certainly think we got some guys that would be in tune to what Alex likes and what Jay likes in his system, from Dotson, Crowder, Reed, and now Paul Richardson and other guys that we have, Thompson. So, I think the system going to help Alex as much as Alex going to help this system.
You mentioned the idea of having a quarterback that wants to be here. What do you think that does for the locker room if they sense the guy is all in?
I don't think the fans really understand when you talk about stability, when you know the guy that's going to be leading this team is going to be in your locker room for the next 3 to 4 to 5 years. That's a good feeling. And I think now they can relax and even during the season don't have to worry about whether our fearless leader is going to be here next year.
Paul Richardson, what does he add? Obviously, a long-term deal as a receiver, but to bring the speed that he adds, what does he do for this offense in terms of opening things up the way Deshaun maybe did 2 years ago?
I think he mentioned it up there, stretch the defense. See, let me tell you, when the defense know that you don't have the speed, they all come up and just cover you up and make you throw the ball underneath, and it kind of kills the offense. Now they got to respect Paul Richardson, and when Jay Reed come back healthy, they got to respect those guys. And I think it's going to help open it up. It's going to help open the running game up, for that matter, because now you can't come up and crowd the line.
As a quarterback, I'm sure when you watch these games, you're looking at the field like, okay, I would go here, I would go there. What did you see as the difference last year without Deshaun versus the year before when he was out there?
Well, I think, like I stated earlier, we're going to look forward. We ain't going to look back. And I'm looking forward to what Alex is going to do with this offense, and hopefully we can burn all the real tape that we have up from last year and the years before and start a new series with Alex. So I'm just going to from that standpoint.
How do you think the combination of Paul with Josh and then Jamison also, how do you think those three kind of fit together, what you guys can do with them?
Well, they all do certain things. Dotson, I think, proved last year what he could be. He was healthy most of the year, and coming back on his third year, he's learned a lot. Jameis Crowder is who he is, just as crafty as they come. Jay Reed wasn't as healthy last year. Hopefully we can get him back. And the addition of Paul, we just got so many guys that going to give Alex option. And like I say, he can extend plays. And like Paul say, when receivers see a guy like that who can extend, they tend to make other moves. And Paul's that guy, when he looked deep, would be wide open down the field.